Like when you were young. What were the skies like when you were young?
Did somebody say Team Skeptics in the chat? I thought somebody just said Team Skeptics. What's up, team? Hey, bro. I didn't even look on disc, dude. I was editing a video all day. In fact, I'm going to give you guys like a sneak preview. Since you guys came to the live stream, do you want a sneak preview of the new video? I was in freaking Discord all day working on it. I should give you guys a sneak. I'll give you a sneak preview of the new video. It's really good. If you promise me that you will watch it when it releases in the morning. As long as you'll watch it tomorrow, I'll give you a sneak preview tonight. If you want me to, it's up to you. It's actually really good. I think it's a good video. I use my new graphics in it. These are more, these aren't going to be the final graphics or anything, but what do you think? What do you think, y'all? Okay. I don't have to wake. Busy is not awake. Busy wakes up for the D live stream. He hates YouTube. He feels like we make fun of him. Let me wake him up. I'll get him. Just give me a second and I'll get busy. Anyway, team, yeah, if you're not doing nothing, brother, you want to get in here, let me know. We're going to be digging down into the... Oh, my God, I closed it, though. I bet I can pull it back up. So, hello, guys. Good to see you. This is not one of my normal shows because, as you know, I used to give you a show every night other than maybe 2 days out of the week. You know that, right? Okay. So, the only reason you haven't been getting as many... you know, live streamed written shows like you're used to is because I've been editing videos a lot more. So don't hate me because you're getting some good stuff since I'm, you know, doing this. Damn it. Come on, man. I know I can pull these up. I know I can pull these up. I know where they're at, though. Stuart, dude, I hate asking you. Can you do me a favor? You know that last link you dropped me that had the TST channel? Can you put that in the current live stream room if you don't mind in Discord? If you can, it's okay. Anyway, hey, what's up, Rick? Good to see you, buddy. You here to Rick roll me? Anyway, let's give you a sneak peek of the video. This video is releasing in the morning. I ask you kindly. I'll give you a sneak peek of it now. It's a great video, and it's the beginning of a series. But please, pretty please with sugar on top, make sure you watch it tomorrow because I'm desperate for algorithmic ratings. I don't care about views. I don't care about the monetization. It's not even monetized. I didn't demonetize the new video. I unmonetized it. I didn't even want to deal with that shit. So if you will, tomorrow when this video releases, hook it up. But here you go. Sneak preview, tomorrow's brand new video. This is what I worked on the entirety of the damn day. Last night, we watched like a shit ton of stuff for hours so that I could do this video. And then today I went in and did this video. Also, the other video I talked about, that me and Sean talked about, is all it needs to do is have 10 minutes worth of stuff and then it's uploaded. So you'll be getting that tomorrow. But here's a sneak preview. Most of you know who Steve McRae is by now. He's a friend of the channel, co-owner of the popular Non Sequitur show and a debate moderator. I got involved in this story when I responded to the breakup of Non-Sec. If you haven't seen those videos, look for the sum up videos on my channel. They are short and to the point, but if you want the full context, you could skip through the many live streams and interviews I've done about the situation. Before cooking dinner, I say the same thing about my kid team. Me and you are like two peas in a pod that live like way far away from each other, man. No, anytime. Yeah, and I will, bro. I will, and definitely we'll have to hook up tomorrow and do a stream or something, or I'll have to come over there. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Non-Sec broke up. I'd only been a viewer. So after talking to Steve, it only took a few hours before noticing a strange group that we are talking about in this video series. I'm not going to go into the backstory just yet, for good reason. I'm going to start with a debate that happened a week ago on the Modern Day Debate channel between Red's Rhetoric and a guy named Science First. This revolves around a situation that we've talked about. Is Steve McRae an R-word, in quotations, apologist for interviewing a notorious internet figure with a bad reputation? Let's start by taking a peek at the people that were angered by Steve's interview. The first thing I'll do is respond to a video about me. A member of the group debunked a conspiracy theory on my main channel. The problem? That's exactly what I did in my video. I'm not going to play that person's video, but basically she pulls up mine and acts like I'm making the claim that this conspiracy is real, which I did not. I'll play the end of the video, the conclusion that I reached about the theory. Couldn't something be so powerful to so many people that it transcends the normal, that it creates so many impossible coincidences that someone whose eyes are open to the more than real could only get a small glance for a short second when peering through the looking glass of innumerable coincidental happenings? Maybe not. Maybe we're all just so affected that we piece these random things together to make sense of these tragic events. But I'll say this, as more and more coincidences pop up, I start to think that things are definitely more than real. Okay, as you just heard, my final summation was that people see these kinds of coincidences and attach a greater meaning, but in the end, it is most likely just a pile of coincidences. I say this because it is what this group does to make all of their points, or at least most of them. They all act like they're intelligent, skeptical thinkers, but if that was true, they wouldn't have to misrepresent other people's work to make a point. Now let's look at this creator's video on the Steve issue and see if she did the same thing to Steve that she did to me in criticizing mine. It's the same creator. Yeah, the same one. All right.
about anything other than police auditing will be removed. And sure enough, all of the comments were removed. Everybody trying to warn Steve about this guy being had their comments removed. And meanwhile, I started seeing that Steve was pretending, or not pretending. Steve was telling people that he knew all about this guy's police record and that it wasn't a big concern. It was nothing big.
That's not what Steve said that day. And this whole thing blew up. Steve said that he was going to remove the comments because he didn't want the drama on his channel and told everybody out there, if you have an issue, make a video about it. In the very beginning of her video, what does she do? She pretends like Steve's point was that his past doesn't matter. That's not what Steve said in any way, shape, or form. He said that the past didn't affect the interview that he was doing. But if she frames it in the way she did, she misconstrues Steve's point and creates a good reason to be able to do a 32-minute attack video. Now we're going to jump through the debate between Reds and Science Last. As you're about to see, Science Last presents himself as a concerned YouTube viewer that saw Steve's show and was offended. He had his fifis hurt. He doesn't bring up anything about his past with Steve, which I would find relevant. Also, I think the entire audience would too. If you're going to make a case publicly about this issue, you would think you would prep the audience so that they can decide if a bias is present. It shouldn't shock anyone that Science Last is a member of this group of people that I refer to as Steve McRaiders or McHaters, however you want to say it. I like McRaiders better. This group has been attacking Steve since the breakup of the non-sec with references to Medi-Cal. Some of you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, it's okay. The main point is seeing that he is recorded August 27th, still parroting the debunked Medi-Cal trolling to Steve publicly. Not only does he spend a lot of time with the rest of the Steve McRaiders, he considers some of them close friends publicly and defends them against any criticism that they get, but also uses the group's tropes to pester Steve over and over. Now, does it make sense why Science Last or Rob is the person who pressed this issue and engaged in it? In this debate with Reds? Okay, good. My point is made. Now keep that in mind while I pull some major tells from the debate itself. So is Rob just an individual that's concerned about what Steve did and said that day, or is he somebody trying to wield this as a weapon against Steve? Rob throws out a definition that is so wide it would miscategorize those legitimately defending innocent people as apologists when they're clearly not, and he acknowledges this. Reds descends on the illogical definition and lists many famous cases where somebody wasn't innocent, even one where he was deemed guilty for 20 years. Reds then ends out his rebuttal asking Rob if he would like to change the definition so that it didn't do this to these innocent people. Logical people listening were surprised when Rob did not want to change the definition, but instead made this argument.
So, tell me, do we still want to stick with that definition, or do we wish to modify it?
Yeah, I want to stick with that definition. What I wanted to do was defend maybe why the case that Steve, that I allege, has fallen into apologetics, albeit I think unintentionally, how that differs from the people who have defended people charged with, like Brian Banks. Essentially, what I think the difference comes down to is it can be summed up in 3 words: motivation, intention, and application.
So basically, he lists these 3 things as what differentiates somebody from being an apologist and not, and states that he wants to maintain the definition, and he's going to explain why. He says motivation, intention, and application. How ironic that in those other cases, they have an out for apologetics, but in Steve's case, he does not. Interesting. wish we would have a good explanation for this. As the debate goes on, Rob, thank you, sweet heathen. Thank you so much. It means a lot when you join my channel. I just wanted to shout you out. Thank you. Doubles down on how this definition doesn't work for those proven to be innocent because they went to court. And Steve just said it on YouTube or social media. This does not fit his definition. Everybody heard it. Everybody knows it. But after this, it's obvious Rob knew that he couldn't logically move on. He had hit a roadblock. Reds had destroyed anything else Rob could bring forth. So Rob did what a lot of liars do when a simple logical point explodes their hours of prepared arguing. He starts bringing up the horrible things that Warden did. Everybody knows the horrible things that Warren did by now. Everybody knows, and they have already accepted that this doesn't apply. But he brings them up. Obviously, since his main line was now derailed, he knew this emergency tactic may turn some of the people in the audience against Steve just because this man had done horrible things. Also to note, people in the audience that support Rob and Fiona were typing things the whole time just to troll, just to throw Steve under a bus. Of course, this didn't make Steve an apologist, so Red knocked him down again by calling Rob out for strawmanning him, and then dropping more logic bombs. Reds calls out points made before the debate that did exactly what Rob is doing here, and says how much they don't care about the victims and why, which is a good point. And I know that this angered Rob. You can tell that it did. This angers Rob into doing what he does throughout a big portion of the rest of the debate, interrupting Reds over and over. Now, in the middle of interrupting Red, Rob doubles down, then triples down, then quadruples down on how Steve deleting comments makes him an apologist. Red has already answered this with way more logic than what Rob has, so it's very strange that he did it. But then again, if you have to throw out much of your argument because of how destroyed it was in the very beginning, it makes sense, I guess. These are desperate tactics by a defeated debater, obviously. I'm going to roll through a little montage of some of the interruptions and crappy points.
Called it drama and the stuff of trolls.
Okay, are you done?
Now,
So I can
you've
reply
just said that is minimising.
Are you done? So I can finish my statement? Because I was actually about to bring that up.
Read what he wrote?
Well, it was a little bit off, right? It was, just to be sure that he gets
Yeah, read what he wrote. Dude, watch my video. I put his screenshots in my video. Of course I read what he wrote. So again, he called
everywhere coming out to feed on drama.
He called it a witch hunt. And yes, he was referring
Keep drama off my page.
Will you let me finish? 5 minutes and 45 fucking seconds. You're bringing up shit that was brought up after the fact by over 30 fucking minutes. You then fuck. The reason why it was
I'm a dead stuck, am I? Right.
These are people who really didn't have any power in their own to do anything about it. Not until somebody from the Innocence Project actually stepped in to do something
and
about
they
it.
did something about it. Warden's done nothing. He trots off to sign the sex offenders register every Thursday.
They
He's
were not
never done anything.
apologists over and over and over again. And still people try to use it as some sort of gotcha. It has failed. It failed 2 weeks ago, and it fails as hard now. Secondly, what Steve
can I just address that? I'm using it in a different way, though. I'm not using it as a gotcha. I'm using it to evidence that Warden lied.
Science first, I'll let you answer. I just want to, if we can, let's just kind of we'll do a working memory.
Then me never tell you about the ragamuffin business and thing. Wicked.
Excellent.
Regular on the trip. Hello everyone, welcome to Talking Shit to Wednesday. I'm your host JD Kane, and for those who don't know what this edition is, Cliff, don't distract me. Side chat. How they rate people, like if you're curious.
Let me explain. Let me explain what's up. Okay, so basically, I like Steve, and I think he's a good guy. I also like people speaking their mind and weighing in on things, and I think it's necessary and it's relevant, and we should hear people out. So I've been trying to hear people out for the last 5 months or something. How long's it been now? Ever since I made the response video to the non-sec thing happening, and I made it really quick right after all this thing blew up, right? Like, I made it before the hate train was definitely against Kyle, and then people were still hating on Steve by a big mass. And now there's not a lot of people hating on Steve. It's the opposite, but there's still one little group. There's still one group that is clinging on to every illogical argument, every stupid trope that is formed over the non-sec issue. And I've been tracking them and, keep taking a little peek at what happens here and there ever since this all started. Now, I'm really mad that I didn't know that there was going to be that debate on the GDC. I don't know how I didn't know. I was live last week or the week before, whenever it happened, and I know I get busy and there's a lot of stuff going on, so that's probably what happened, but Reds did such a good job. Like, I have to say this. If you're not subscribed to Red's Rhetoric, you probably are, because I've had him on a few times recently. And I've watched his stuff on D-Live and caught you guys up on what's been happening around. Make sure you sub to him, because he did such a good job And what I don't understand, we are literally, it's oil and water at this point. This little group, they just pop up every time something happens, and everything they say is against Steve. But if I try to figure out why, and I try to understand it, I keep hitting an impasse because they aren't, one, they don't explain it, right? If you go click on one of their videos, they're going to be like, you know, gloating and bitching and whining and complaining so much that you have to kind of like you skip around to even extract what's happening. You get my drift? So anyway, listening to some of this stuff, and I just found this channel. This channel is, and I'm not kidding, they're going to cry and be like, somebody said that we just talk bad about Steve. Yes, that's all you do. It is. You just talk bad about him. For those of you that don't know, last night, I didn't do it on YouTube because I didn't want these guys lobbing a bunch of strikes and shit like that and talking shit. But on DLive, I listened to the leaked Discord audio. Then, lo and behold, what did I just respond to? I just saw that, by the way. Whoever that douchebag is that was saying, leaked, more like illegally recorded. And they'll say that when somebody records their public meeting in a Discord server that was advertised publicly on YouTube and literally instructed for people to come, where in the recording, I have a guy saying, hi to all the people recording this, without saying, you know, you can't record this, which, by the way, legally, you have to state. You got me? If you got a guy sitting there saying, hi, everyone that's recording this, you can't then turn around and be like, oh, it's illegally recorded, without also adding in, by the way, you're not allowed to record this, because then anyone could have just whipped out their recorder when he said, hi, everybody that's recording this. Anyway, they make that argument, though. Why is he making that argument? Because he's an idiot. He doesn't even yell at his buddies. One of his buddies messaged another individual, another creator in the community, and not to try to not stir up drama and stuff. I'm not going to name names. One of his buddies named another creator in the community, messaged him, asked him to come talk to him. He did. He connected to talk to him in a hangout so they could see each other and talk to each other. And maybe it was a Skype call, I don't know. But lo and behold, the other guy live streamed the entire thing on his channel. And the creator didn't even know it was being live streamed. Now, this just happened not that long ago. So why in the world isn't he getting hate from these guys about doing that to someone else? Well, I'll tell you why. The person who they duped into talking to them so that they could live stream it likes Steve. You get me? You'll come to find out everything that has happened in the last while. This group of people make their mind up. They say that they're like incredible thinkers, the most logical people around, but they make their entire mind up about all this stuff simply based on if it's against Steve, they're about it. If it supports Steve, they're against it. If it's something they can, wield and warp to use as a weapon against Steve McRae, they're going to do it. And it's really sad because this community is, they proclaim themselves, not the entire community, this community proclaims themselves to be logical, to be talking to each other so that they can explore things like, is there a God? The debate about creationists and atheists and all the other things that they want to debate in their big-brained way. But you can't be big-brained if you're spending a big part of your time making illogical arguments towards Steve McRae. So if I go back and look at any of their online presence, and this goes for all of them, they all spend 80% of their time bitching about Steve. They know more about Steve than Steve knows about Steve. So I'm making a video series. It's a... Now, some of you are going to take what I'm about to say seriously, and I'm going to do this, but I am going to be silly about part of what I'm saying. So there's the disclaimer. Okay. I'm making a documentary about the group of people, the community of people that hate Steve McRae. Don't let them tell you that they don't hate him. They hate him. That's what this whole thing is fueled by, an illogical hatred for Steve, where even if, they will argue, as you know, with the non-sec thing, that because it was Steve that this happened to, then they'll argue that it was legit or right or deserved for some crazy reason, you know. And also, I would go into a little bit more of a discussion about how it exposes them for being very evil people, but I think you all understand that, and it's not something I need to go into heavily, but it does. They're very evil people who don't do the entire treat others as you would treat, you know, as you want to be treated deal. Oh no, that's out the window long ago, to the point where they don't even put themselves in another person's shoes before they, you know, they respond to what's going on. You got me? Now, this isn't 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 situations. This is in an insane number of, like, they sit and talk about a random tweet reply that Steve made that only had 2 people even like it or even, you know, leave a reply. So what I'm saying is they daily wake up. I think before they eat their cereal, they go to Twitter and look at Steve's Twitter before they even go and take a shower in the morning, if they do it all, by the way. Okay, I'm not going to insult him. I'll stop. They go and check Steve's YouTube channel, and if they find out he streamed, they don't do anything before they watch every second of it. And they hate Cheshire. Oh my, do they hate her because she streams with Steve McRae. Oh, they hate UNIRock. Why do they hate UNIRock? Because UNIRock obviously is brainwashed by Steve. They hate Red's rhetoric. Why? Because Red's rhetoric defended Steve with something. You see where this is all going, right? What's really crazy about this is I thought it was like 5 people. It's more like 12. I know. That's a big difference. There's 7 more people involved in this than I thought initially. It's getting serious. Anyway, I want to hear what these guys have to say, honestly, but I'm not going to do it on YouTube. They are the type of, you know, people to sit and talk about the value of free speech and say that their principle is for free speech and then to completely rail against it without a good logical reason, right? Like, they'll claim, oh my God, even though what you did was fair use, you still deserve to be struck down. And, you know, just like you saw, I just was going to Twitter to pull this up, or I was going to Discord to pull up this channel that is a Steve McRae. So this channel is a place where they do hangouts, and all the people that hate Steve meet up and do hangout streams where they talk bad about Steve. They're that obsessed. Steve is a celebrity. I said last night that Steve is about to blow up, and I think that's true because he has the hate squad that a 200,000 subscriber YouTube channel would have. So to me, there's a disconnect between his hate squad and what he's doing right now. So I think he's going to grow here soon. He's going to blow up as time goes on to match his hate squad, right? That's how it works on YouTube. You didn't know? Yeah, didn't know that's how it works? That's how it works. But anyway, so I was going to Discord to go to a room I have where people drop submissions because, you know, that's how I operate. I operate my live streams based off of what you submit through Twitter or through my Discord or email. I do my videos. Everything I do pretty much is based off of those. So that way you guys, the audience, has an amount of control in the content that we do. And I do listen to you as much as people think I don't. I really do. But anyway, I go in there, and instead of me seeing this link, I see that Twitter message from, what's that guy's name? Somebody tell me that guy's name. It's not right hand or red right hand. That's not his name. His name's like Atria Torsi or something like that, or I don't know. But anyway, he put at UNIRockTV, leaked, ? Illegally recorded. You really are one of the dumbest people on the web. How's that possible, Red Hand? You've stated yourself in the last few months that you've stated that so many people are the dumbest person on the web. Are you changing your opinion, or, you know, is your dumbest person like some kind of title, kind of like DFOTY, so that you can give it to as many people as you want? Because according to you, there's like 20 of us dumbest people on the web. Dumbest person, I'm sorry, on the web. An incoherent Muppet. Yes. So anyway, this is why through the series that I'm doing that I just gave you a sneak peek of, and it'll be on, that video will be on the channel in the morning. If you saw it tonight, you already made a deal with me. You're going to watch it in the morning and, you know, leave comments and stuff, right? So, and rate it for me. So make sure you do that for me, because I was just giving you a sneak peek. You know, I was trying to be cool. But anyway, so this whole group is very basic. They're very unintelligent. They use insults instead of discussing things. They don't have logic for why they say what they say. What are they? They are the peak definition of jelly troll. They are jelly trolls. And I can prove this, and I'm going to in the series I'm doing. I'm going to expose every one of them. I'm going to show you who they all are, with the hope that you will also, by the end of it, agree with me that they are jelly trolls. And then you will execute order 45 or whatever number it is. I forget. Busy, do you know what's the number for jelly trolls? I can't understand you. Take the crack pipe out of your mouth and then try talking. Anyway, when you label somebody a jelly troll, when you know 100% that they are a jelly troll, and yes, that is my slang, but I'm me. I like being me. You can be you, I'll be me. Okay, good. When you identify a jelly troll, the only way to handle them is to ignore them completely. So I'm going to give you my spiel. It's like 10 seconds long. A jelly troll, all they want is a drop of jelly. They can live for like a week off a drop of jelly. And how do they get the drop of jelly? All you got to do is look in their direction. Now, this docu-series I'm doing is going to give them a little bit of jelly. It already has. They've already heard the rumor that I'm exposing them in a documentary, and that after I finish it, I'm going to put it into like an 1.5 hour long video and give it to the public so that anyone that wants to upload it can upload it. And they're very scared about that. They're very upset. They've never had somebody actually go and track what they've done in the last while and put it all together. And the thing is, these guys are professional trolls. So it's not that they can just dip out and then make a new username and come back. All of them have done that over and over and over and over again. Most of them have. So they are known by the people that they stalk, the way they speak, the tone of their voice, all those things. So if they try to make a return, in my opinion, after they've been completely outed, then you'll be able to identify them pretty quickly, and that will stop them just from cloaking themselves, you know? But somebody needs to do this, and then we all need to upload it. We all need to upload a video, and I don't care if anyone else wants to do a part of the series. If you want to do a part of the series, when I finish it, I'll add it in. We can make this a group effort. We can make it a collab. Any creator out there that's not busy right now, if you want to like join my Discord server and help me out, and you want to do, I don't know, if like Brainy or somebody's out there and they want to help me and they want to do like a 3-minute or a 10-minute or something part to the whole thing, I'm down. I'm good with that. You can help me out. And then when we compile it together, we'll just mix it all together in order and throw it out there. But the main thing to do is to show logically why these guys are trolls. They're not. So one thing they do, they fool everybody in live chats. They try to fool everybody on non-sec. Then they tried to do it whenever there was a debate that involved the topic around it. Now they try to go to Twitter and make accounts and do it. Then, lo and behold, getting a hold of the Discord audio from all of the Discord meetings in that non-sequitur Discord, it exposes so much about these guys. You want to hear it? dlive.tv/UNIRockTV. Come listen. Because they say some of the most false, most easily proof, like so easy to prove a lot of the stuff that they say completely false. And these are recent recordings, all right? So why is it that one of them will say it and then the rest of them will sit and agree? And then you should hear these guys talk, like that guy who called me a Muppet. You should hear him talk. He is a complete narcissist. I thought CW Chanter was a really bad narcissist. This guy is either equal to or greater than him when it comes to psychopathic narcissism. It's insanity. But no, you got to hear it, though, because it really irons it home. You'll get to hear it soon. Keep an eye out for my documentary coming out here. Of course, the word documentary is being used sarcastically. Okay, it's a YouTube video. Okay. But back to what I was saying, it's really entertaining to hear it. They start talking about how they have gotten so... they say that they've gotten so into the head of Steve, or that, you know, what we've done is turned the entire audience against Steve. And, you know, what I've seen, and I've looked for it, I've looked for them, any of them, to have a valid criticism of Steve that can be trusted. And what I mean is we could go to it and listen to it and be like, oh, okay, maybe they do have a valid criticism of him. Let's hear the logic. All right, they're not exaggerating anything. They're not lying about anything. They're not trying to redefine words or trying to, you know, create a new category for this. You know, wow, that's great. Okay, they finally had a good criticism. Let's try to resolve that for them. Let's get a hold of Steve, see if he can respond. No, Steve should never respond to any of these people again. He should kick them anytime he sees them and ban them and block them and move on and grow his channel bigger, become very successful, because every subscriber that Steve's get, every dollar that Steve makes, these guys literally cry in a Discord server to each other like they are 12 years old. I'm not making this up. I'm not insulting them. I am being very nice right now in describing it this way, okay? It is something insane. Now, I do think that Steve doesn't have a good criticism from them. I want to stress this. I know I just said it, but I have to stress it. I have tried to go and hear them out, and it's painful to listen to these guys talk. It's just flooded with that kind of thing I told you about. No good criticism up to now. You know, and the bad part is there are things that Steve has done a long time ago, just like I have. I fuck up all the time. Don't get mad at me, Steve. But there are things that Steve has done that maybe some people out there could sit down and talk to him about and offer some type of constructive criticism, and Steve could respond, and it would be like a good thing, right? A response video, a good thing, right? They don't have that with him, because what they do is when they have an opportunity to do that, and they've only had a few, and they were very minor, instead of actually sticking to the criticism, they make up a bunch of lies. They try to mix in a bunch of weird anti-Steve propaganda into the other stuff. So I'll pull up the live chat and talk to you, and I'll show you some stuff really quick, and then we're going to go to DLive and hang out, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this on YouTube. It turns out live streaming on YouTube isn't good for my uploads. It's good for my live streams. It's just not good for my uploads. Anyway, so let's pull this stuff up. Let's take a look at the live chat. We'll figure it out. Oh, his name is like a griper. His name's like a griper, right? Okay, I'm sorry. I think I called him a grabipo or something. His name is A Griper. A-G-R-I-P-P-E-R. He gripes a lot. Okay, just so you know. Yeah, I'm not pulling up that video because I don't want to give that guy any airtime. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. We could pull up. This lady has Alzheimer mixed with autism. So she has Alzheimertism. So she can't carry a thought for more than a few seconds. So we're going to have to really try hard to hear her out. But we'll try. We'll try. We don't make fun of people with Alzheimertism here, so... Okay, so the one thing I want to stress, just to make sure that you understand my point, is that when they go at Steve, they do it in a coordinated fashion. It's almost like the way Twitter works. It's almost like these guys have studied Twitter, or maybe they're like part of that whole Twitterverse that gangs up on people when they know they're wrong, so they have the numbers, right? Even though they don't have that many numbers. So basically, we're starting to learn why I couldn't figure it out. I've been I've been in a lot of different communities, hung out with a lot of different communities on YouTube. Usually when there's an issue, people try to resolve it. They try to either ignore each other, or they have a little fight, then they ignore each other or resolve it. It moves that way or the other. And then they just move on and don't care. And for a really long time, this is an anomaly in YouTube communities, because Steve has tried to disconnect with them and move on for so long. And he's done his best to ignore them, but they'll disguise themselves behind sock accounts and make crazy points, and then jump on their regular account and be like, haha, this is what Steve said to me. I was disguised as that sock account. And it's just they won't let it go, is what it's come to. I really think that there is a little bit of some type of disorder going on here. I think they're disconnected from reality to a bit. Now, if there's some if one of you guys, I know some of you guys are like med students and stuff, or nurses and doctors, give me a little bit of a diagnosis. I'd love to have one. I got my live chat up. I'm going to see what you guys say, and then I'm going to jump over to DLive. After you hear 2 clips that I want to show you. One from Toilet Lid and the other from Crazy Fiona. All right. Oh, and don't argue with them. They're only in here bringing up all those points. Everything's already been completely ended when it comes to their arguments. They were wrong about Kyle. They were wrong about the dumb stuff they tried to pin on Steve. They've been debunked, debated, and destroyed. If you argue with them, it's on you. I'm not reading it out loud. Just ignore them. Hey, Sweet Heathen, good to see you. Thanks for joining the channel, too. It's really awesome of you. Oh, I have insomnia too, Heathen. I've had it my whole life. Well, since a teenager at least. You just got to channel insomnia, right? You got to... Reading does help, but everybody says reading can help you sleep. It'll help you go to sleep. No, it doesn't. Maybe I'm reading the wrong books, but it does not help me sleep. I'm telling you right now. Oh, making up lies to discredit people. Oh, you double typed it. I'm going to have to kick you. Sorry, Ryan, but you going to have to... since you're spamming with duplicate messages, I'm going to have to get you out of here. Oh, wait, he apologized. Okay, I won't kick you then. I don't kick people for, normal things that people kick for. I just try to adhere to a few simple rules. So if you apologize for it, I'll let it go. No, it wasn't Ablius. Nope, it was, let's see here. I just had it. I'll look it up again because I've already forgot. Rodin says the medical term is dumbassititis, and I'm with you. Normally I would, disagree a little bit and say, I think they're purposely acting like dumbasses. They're hoping that it will infect other people's minds. Truly. And I'm sorry I'm so late, you all. I'm sorry. I know it's late. I'm supposed to be on around 7 or 8. Oh, and to Lucas. Lucas was helping me get an interview with the next Scientologist. I got a hold of Adam the Great on YouTube. He has a great channel. Check him out. I got a hold of Adam. He posted in my Discord today. Now, I couldn't do the interview today because I need to do it at the same time, but I've got 2 ex-Scientologists. I'm going to have them come in and talk to them one after the other. It'll be up to them whether they hang out and talk together, but I'm at least going to interview both of them in the same show. So we'll be doing that as soon as we get it worked out. But, we tried to email, I forget his name, but the guy that the ex-Scientologist is supposed to come on and let him know that he could come today. But I think he was busy today, so whenever he's available, we'll be doing it. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Ryan. I'm sorry. I thought you were I thought you were a troll, so I was trolling you. Lisa said, continually saying he's committing a fraud. Yeah, I would just ignore it by now. It's 100% debunked at this point. But you'll see that's one good reason I did this stream is to I needed to grab some screenshots of their persistent arguments for my docudrama that I'm doing. So the stuff that they're saying in the chat, I'm using it in the documentary. So I couldn't say that until now. I had to give them time to capture their chat. But to spill the beans before we go to DLive, it was a setup. Yeah. Okay. Well, the chat part was. I know. I like Ryan. I know. That was my fault. I forgot who Ryan was. It was my bad. I love you, man. I'm sorry. Jump to DLive where no one can censor your abliest comments. So you are trying to censor me. Okay, well, hold on. I got to save that one, too. I just want to make sure I have that. Hold on. Gotcha. All right. I knew they were trying to file some strikes, but I just wanted to I have to get the proof of it through this live chat. Thank you for that, whoever you are. All right. I think we've been to the bottom of the stream. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Phil just said, you are mistaken to someone else in the chat. I'm not going to read the name. That's okay, but you should listen to people who know Steve's situation and the laws that apply. It's okay to be wrong. We applaud you for admitting you didn't know. Exactly. And that's why I try not to kick people who are trolling with that, because, yes, there's a bunch of them trolling with that right now in the chat. But there are some people that are, affected by those people lying. There was never an issue with that. That was one of the things. In fact, in my docudrama, I have direct evidence of where that came from, who started it, who parroted it, and why. And I've got, we've been capturing screenshots of these guys and their attempts to discredit Steve on Facebook, Twitter, the internet, and some forums and stuff, and Reddit, and on YouTube comments and videos. And we've been tracking it a little bit in the last few weeks, and we've made a lot of progress in the last couple days. We've got those recordings that kind of give a really cool peek into where this started, and then we've got the another conversation that where it happened after Kyle was done talking. So it was publicly advertised on YouTube as a public stream that anyone could go join if they wanted to. So we do have Kyle saying those things, and then we have the recording, like I said. And we've double checked our stuff. We've dotted our I's and we've dotted our T's and crossed our I's so that we know it's good. And there's a lot of the place where those statements originated from, the people that are responsible for it. We've got some of their early remarks, which I think will be a good addition to showing this. And it's good to show this. It's a danger of the internet when a small group of people, if they are fueled by enough hatred and they're willing to lie as much as they do, it shows how they can sway the mind of a group of people now there's a difference in this situation from others. They had the help of an influential individual, Kyle, and that's what gave their trolling validity at first. When it was just coming from them before Kyle jumped on the bandwagon, it didn't go anywhere. It was just these guys chirping into the void of the internet. Now they are the flat earthers of the ex-non-sec, ex-GDC community. They're the ones that are holding on to the illogical arguments. They're the ones that are fighting in the face of all reason and evidence that's there. They're the ones that refuse to accept, they want to argue like, let me give you an example. So when Reds is debating that guy, let me pull it up. I actually want to do a live reaction to this stream. Oh, did I type that wrong? Yep, it's modern day. That might be why. Did I think... Oh, my bell isn't on. I used to have that bell on, by the way. I used to have that bell on. So here's an example. When this stream happened with Reds... Where the hell is it? Oh, shit. It's on a different channel. Reds versus Science last. Here it is. modern dash day debate. Okay, so in this one point I'll make in this video, they are making the argument that well, they are calling out a guy who did something illegal. Got me? And they're like going batshit crazy with it. But they are still enabled to, and they're saying you should accept what the courts say about this guy, or else it makes you this. So let me say that again. Science First is making the argument viciously. He's pushing that shit so hard, saying you have to accept what the court found out about an individual, and then if you go against what the court found out about an individual, then you are this for defending the individual on anything. Even if it's not that word, if it's something different, you're still this for defending him. So it's not the context of what you're defending him on. It's not how much you know about the guy. You could literally, by Science First's argument, you could literally not even know anything about him and this and his past, and you could defend him on something and be that. But when it comes to the courts, Kyle not filing, Kyle not showing up when subpoenaed, they aren't willing. They will join a Discord chat and hear Kyle make excuses for why he didn't file or show up, right? They won't hold Kyle to the standard. They're willing to call out Steve to his face through audio, any other place. But when they're in a Discord server with Kyle and he's filling them full of lies around it that's challenging what the court said and what the court found about this, they're not willing to call him out. It's that kind of hypocrisy that is rampant in this group, but only applied to people that support McCrae. And I could do this all night. I could literally show you point after point after point where this happens. You could take, like, one of them is named, oh, and you want to find out who some of them are. Well, let me show you how. If you go look for the trolls in this stream, in the live chat, you will find them. Some of them are moderated over here. And James needs to unmod them, honestly. In my opinion. It's up to him, but still. Yeah, you can look for some of them in the chat here and just watch what their arguments are, what they say. They're still holding on to a lot of debunked stuff. Some of them even make the same argument, the trolls, they make the same argument that he makes, the one they're not willing to apply to Kyle. You know? Very interesting, right? This is such a good debate. I didn't even know it freaking happened, y'all. I was so mad. I'm so mad that I still didn't know it happened, because I would have covered this as soon as it was done. I would have went live and watched it with you here. Then when it was over, we would have done, like, you know, a discussion about it, and then I would have done an edited video about it the next day. I just uploaded an edited video about it. It will release tomorrow in the morning at like 8 a.m. or something. For those of you that care what my hardcore, like, well thought out opinion is on it. Also, in the video I showed you in the beginning of this, I make the point that these guys, well, actually, let me just play the clip. I'll say it. These guys say that Red's rhetoric interrupted him. I went through this, and I could not find anywhere where Red's interrupted the guy. Red's was really polite, even when he was mad, and it was him interrupting Red's constantly. So why, you got to ask yourself, why are they out there constantly spamming the opposite? That Red's interrupted him, because that's what they do. They lie. They are a group of bold-faced, it's easy to prove, bold-faced liars. Do you really respond to those kind of people? Because they'll do what this guy did to Reds. If you start responding, if you give them validity, once you recognize them as bold-faced, purposeful liars in this, they're just going to lie anytime you get into a conversation, an argument, a point that's made, and they will try to troll you. Every time. So he starts by making the dumbest argument ever. He defines our apology. He defines it so widespread that it literally would cover so many people out there for so many things. And Reds brings this up, thus winning the debate. Why did Reds win? Well, let's think it through. He brings up his argument. Reds puts a huge counter to it. He slowly starts realizing the power of Red's debunk with his main argument. It starts to finally sink in, and then as they go in, he starts trying to appeal to he starts complaining about the bad things that the guy did. Well, this is not about that guy. It's not about the bad things that he did there. It's about whether or not Steve was apologizing for the guy's whatever, right? So anyway, once he realizes Red's made such a hardcore point, and I think he was watching the chat because a bunch of people were saying Red's won. He gets really pissy and starts interrupting Reds just nonstop. Every time Reds would get on a good roll, he'd interrupt him. Luckily, Red is real. I was surprised at how good Reds is at debating. Reds should be the guy who's debating everybody. He should be out there. The team's really good too, but he should be the guy that's debating like Hovind and all them. He might have, actually. I need to go find some of Red's other debates on DLive and watch them because I've only seen a couple. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that later. I don't know about tonight because it's late. But anyway, so he tries to realizes, oh God, I got to win points with the audience. So then he tries to list all the bad things the guy did. Maybe if listing all the bad things he did, not trying to connect how Steve is apologizing for those bad things, but if I just bring up the bad things over and over again, maybe that'll sway the audience to my favor a little bit. He realizes he lost the plot around here, and I love how Reds ends it out. He ends it by saying something to the effect of, oh shit, what was it? Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish my thoughts anyway because he's just going to interrupt me, so let's just end this, which was a very good take on it. Then, after seeing this, I took a peek at my Discord server, and lo and freaking behold, what did I see? I saw this, and I'll explain it to you in a second. So, here's my point. Let's say you're about to find out that there's a guy out there, and he wants to debate Steve because he is not trying to hate on Steve. He's not just a Steve hater. He's not part of the group that hates on Steve. He doesn't have a background of hating on Steve, and he wants to debate Steve about the thing that happened with this interview, right? He's just mad because of that interview. Nothing else could be a factor to it. That Rob or Ron or Science Last, whatever his name is, he really cares about people who have that problem. That's what it is. So you would expect somebody trying to debate this topic wouldn't have a history on the internet of trolling Steve, hanging out with the people that troll Steve, hanging out with the ones that lie to troll Steve. You would think he himself wouldn't have a history of lying to troll Steve. Because here's where I'm at by this point. Anytime, what we need to do, especially for people like James, right? People like James, people like In Time, right? People that don't have the context of what happened back in the day, maybe didn't pay attention to. I know some of them were around. I'm just saying maybe they didn't pay attention to this group of people and what they were doing against Steve. What these guys are doing is they're trying to dress themselves as concerned viewers with logical criticisms of things that are going on, and we should have these debates because of our logical criticism. And they show up, they arrange a debate, and they go in and they start playing the game of, if we applied this thing we're saying to someone else, oh no, it doesn't make them one, but if we apply it to Steve, then it does. He didn't even really explain why. He used those 3 words that you heard in the video in the beginning, right? But honestly, that's not what it didn't fit his definition. So as we look, not only do we find a plethora of other things, this one's very significant. So Science Last says on August 27th, I thought you didn't know how much you were owed and thus couldn't report it to Medi-Cal. Now, this is just the one that's about Medi-Cal. There's others out there of him trolling Steve with Fiona's arguments. Come to find out, he's friends with Fiona. And I think Reds may have known that. I don't know. I don't know if James did, because if I was hosting a debate show, I might do it. If there was a reason or if Steve told me to, I'd do it, right? But my point is, I don't think we should give this group of trolls any more attention other than just to identify who they are and, look at what they've done and individually say, okay, we're not listening to this person anymore. Because let's say in a couple weeks, Steve interviews somebody else that has some controversy in their past. They don't care about the controversy. They don't care about what happened. They don't care about the greater topic. They care about trying to make Steve look bad. One thing I asked a couple people that were in my Discord server who'd been following this, did he ever campaign against our apologist before this? And the answer was just no. Now, I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying publicly, searchably, we couldn't find it. They couldn't find it. I didn't look. They looked. Okay, just making sure you get it. Did he ever, care about the other things he got mad about when it applies to a different person ever before? No. So what do you end up finding out when you look at any of these people? You find out that they only do this to Steve McRae. They're willing to lie. They're willing to be deceptive. They are willing to discard evidence, but then grasp at straws, right, for theirs, to the point where by the time I finish this series, we should know who every one of them are, and we should just blacklist them from the community, in my opinion. I'm going to make a campaign for it. They deserve it by now. If you can't identify people that are doing this, you really want these issues again in another month and another 2 weeks tomorrow? I don't think anyone does, And the only reason that they're getting the attention is because they keep making sock accounts or they keep, popping up to people that have no context. I didn't have any context for what happened in the past with Stephen Brody or Stephen the others. Come to find out, there is a long history of Brody treating Steve like crap, and I didn't know it. And I felt like shit when I was trying to respond to Brody's video, treating him like another YouTuber, when he's really not. He's one of those people that have been ganging up against Steve constantly for the last while, without being able to show any good criticism in any of his whining. But the real person that exposed themselves is Science First. Got me? So what did Reds do here? Reds argued why it was his opinion, and he could show that Steve, based on everything Steve said and did not our apology. YouTube censors did not our apology there, right? Which you can't hate on him for that, because after hearing his reasoning, I agree. And I think everybody did who doesn't have a grudge against Steve. I think that's how it went towards the end. Is it possible a few people still felt that way in the end that don't have a grudge or don't hang out with the anti-Steve? Sure, but I didn't see it and I don't believe it. But on the other side of things, when you hear his argument, I don't think that we should cast the most wide net when we label people as those things, as our apologists. I don't think we should. I think it devalues the entire thing at that point. You'll have so many people that you could fit into the descriptor of an R apologist. What good is, fighting against that? Then what? You're going to fight 80% of people out there, right? According to his definition, yes, you would. That's the problem. It's like when you play out any of those type of horrible topics, we all know it devalues them. Then he wants to Now, this is the worst part, and that's why I'll shut up after this and we'll go to D-Live. So once he puts out his first argument, he's the cockiest dude on the block, right? He's the most feathered cock on the block. And then after Red makes his rebuttal, it starts to sink in how damaging it was to his argument. I don't think he realized Red would hit him with a logic bomb that big. Then, and you got to go listen to this if you haven't. Then throughout this, he starts breaking down, interrupting, yelling, defaulting to not even caring about the topic and just trying to make the guy list all the horrible things everybody's ever done. And then going through here, he starts virtue signaling that what they've done here is good because it was his idea to donate to a charity. Well, one, they already donate to a charity when they do these. Okay. But was it good to donate? Yeah. What's the problem with this? due to him trying to wield this topic as a knife towards Steve McRae, he spit on the subject at large, devalued the subject at large, and by trying to use it towards his interpersonal arguments with other YouTubers. Basically, it's the equivalent of somebody taking the topic of our apologetics and redefining it to cast a wide net so you can make it hit Steve. When Reds says, yo, then it's going to hit this guy's family who he was innocent. And they had good reasons to believe him innocent. They weren't apologizing for that shit, though, but with your definition, they would. His response is, no. We got to go through. We got to cast a huge net, label them all as it. Then we go through and individually look at each case and then say, oh, no, wait. I know the definition says that person is, but then again, there's we should add to the definition other conditions that will make that person not. But it'll make Steve one, and there's no conditions that won't, according to him. He did this because he doesn't like Steve. That's it. Simple as that. If it was Kyle, I asked this question at the end of the stream on DLive last night. So to further give you a little bit more thought on my point, what would this guy and Fiona have done if it was Kyle? I don't think they would have even thrown a fit. Okay, fine. If it was that other guy they hang out with. If they would have done that, would they have cared? No, they wouldn't have. They wouldn't have tried to get a debate going. They wouldn't have made a bunch of hate videos. I'll be damned, though. The minute, and then imagine this. Let's say Steve didn't have that guy on. He had a different person on with a different issue. Would they be mad then? Oh, hell yeah, they would, because it's not about the issue. They used it. Fiona and him used it. That's my take of this debate. Although, only because Reds owned this guy so hard, and then because of the complete breakdown of Science Last after Reds owned him, it is one of the more entertaining debates to watch that I've seen in a long time. So I'm going to share it on my Twitter. I urge you to watch it. You could watch my take on it if you want to watch my replay from last night on DLive. You can see my reaction, or you can hang out, and in a couple days, we are going to react to this live together on the nightly show in a couple days, because it is that good of a debate. I want to react to it live on my YouTube channel. So here at UNIRock 2. So if you want to see it, but you don't want to watch it tonight off the air, off the stream yourself, and you want to watch it with the squad fam, just hang out for a couple days. We're going to watch this together here on YouTube if you want to, hang out for that. So one more time, though, another thing I'll make. Reds, you are a master debater. You're really good at this shit, dude. You really are. I was so impressed by the end of it, because not only did he, do the right thing in the debate, make the right point, and, he pushed back against this guy when he needed to, and he didn't when he didn't need to. And then in the end, he ended up trying to make things cool by the end of it and stuff. So, handled well the whole way around. All right, let me go to the live chat, see what you guys got, and then we're going to head to DLive. Skeptic, says Ryan. Sorry, stepped away for a second. Yeah, I think that argument is grossly wrong. Damn it. Damn it. My chat keeps skipping. Even though I got it locked. Is grossly wrong. Yes, volcanoes put out a lot of CO2 into the atmosphere, but humans on average put 10 times CO2 annually than eruptions. Will you come talk when I do the climate change debate? It's not a debate, team. I'm not trying to debate you. It is the, quote, climate change debate, end quote, topic. I want to get a couple creators to come on and talk about it and give their opinions and thoughts and data and shit. And just because I want to make up my mind on it a little more. Where do I sit right now? Well, right now I sit I see a lot of the stuff that the propagandists put out. And then I also see a lot of the stuff that the people on the far other side put out that tries to just challenge the propagandists. So I want to look at the data that's just factual and make up my mind. The problem is all of it is so overly... You search for it. It's one of those topics that so many different sides are trying to play it that it's hard to find good information on it and get to... Now, do I think humans have an impact on the climate and on the atmosphere? Yeah. Do I think that the world's going to end in 12 years? No, and I'll tell you why. Because every 12 years for like the last 50 years, or 10 years, or 8 years, there have been people that have stood up, made a name for themselves by walking around not walking, driving, flying, and eating hamburgers and polluting while traveling around to try to spread the word about it. So I don't think it's going to end in 12 years. Do I think there is a man-made impact? Yes. You can't say there's not. The argument isn't whether man's having an impact. It's whether man is having the type of impact that they say we are, or whether whether the air and the atmosphere and the earth can handle the impact of what we are doing. Personally, there has to be an issue with all the trees, all the forested area that we are losing, and then all these machines that we have running, and all the electric that we consume. There has to be an impact. I don't know how much, though, but I'd love to have you come talk. I think you'd help. Hey, Jut Monkey, the drunk monkey. When are you going to come on, man? Are you in my Discord server? You need to come talk to me, Jut. I'm in there every day. Yeah, Reds, are you in here? Reds, when are you going to come back on, dude? I just talked about your debate. I just talked you up because you did so good at that. You said you did so good on this debate. I feel like an asshole because I wasn't here. I didn't know it happened. I wasn't there for it. I would have been there, but I had no clue it even happened. Felt like a dick. Oh, hey, Dr. Zeus, it's okay, man. Yeah, don't stay up to watch us. You got to get your rest for your stuff, man. It's all good. What now? I'm not reading out any of these crazy comments that are just like, if you want to make a criticism, write the criticism in a way that I can read and understand, okay? Don't come in here with all your damn propaganda shit, please. I will not feel bad about kicking somebody out. Team says, for eruptions, especially really large ones, global warming comes from cooled lava, releasing methane and dust particles in the air, absorbing and re-emitting heat. All right. You need to come talk to me about it, team, because I have no clue about any of this stuff. The UN did say that human forcing of the weather is blank. I'm not a climate denier. I just know the sun is the only thing that affects our weather. I do think humans affect the weather. I differ in opinion with you, but that's okay. I do think humans are affecting our climate a little bit. Like I said, I don't have the opinion way out here, and I don't have it here. I'm just stuck in the middle until I get some data. You get me? I just want to be as neutral as I can until I get some real scientific data, and then I'll make up my mind, I'll do it on the internet in front of everybody. Does Reds have a wrench in here? I don't know if I ever modded Reds. I want to make... Oh, he does. What the F is this about? I was just giving my take on this entire situation and what I realized from watching it. There'll be a video releasing tomorrow. It'll explain it all. You missed it. It's at the beginning of this. But this, for those of you that don't, I unlist my random live streams. So if you want to watch the replay on YouTube, you're going to have to go to @UNIRockTv to watch it. Team says, yeah, I would talk about it. I'm learning the actual science. Oh, damn it. My chat skipped. Hold on, team. I'll find it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'll talk about it. I'm learning the actual science behind climate change. Yeah, and me too. And I don't know it. Definitely. The RA debate? Yes. Oh my God, bro. You did so good, man. You got to watch my video tomorrow. It sums up my take of it. I would have done a video the day you guys did it, but I didn't find out about it until later. Because I don't pay close enough attention. I'm trying. I'd like to know how you guys keep track of everything that's going on. And then you can give me some tips on how I also can keep track like you guys. I can't keep track of shit. Maybe it's because I don't use Twitter. I just tweet. I don't really use it to DM, and I don't, check shit on it. I just tweet out stuff, so it could be that. Sean says it's basically a thorny topic. A lot of things go into it. I know. Phil says, good for you, Uni. I know you will see the truth. The data is very clear. I will, Phil. You know me. I'm all about, making up my mind based off of, I don't let other people, regardless of the side, get in my head when it comes to making up my mind about stuff like that, for sure. Only nuts like AOC say that BS, says Joey. Exactly. Yeah, AOC's trying to say... Now, one other thing, and I want to make sure you don't get mad at me, but off of data I've seen, I'm willing to change my opinion on this if you present me data. I want to make a clear statement that I do not believe our agriculture has the effect on climate that they are saying that it does. I don't. And if you want to eat a steak in the morning and a steak at dinner, good, because I want to eat a steak in the morning and a steak at dinner too. You gotta have red meat in your diet. I'm sorry, or at least some fish, maybe some chicken and some fish. Then, team says Reds, mostly talking about how you crushed him, especially when you threw the definitions in his face. Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yeah. No, team, 100%. No, what I found out about this guy was that he's been hating on Steve for a long while before this. And I truly think, based off of the evidence out there, some things I've heard him say and stuff that he's tweeted out and put out in public posts, I do believe that he is a member of the Steve Hate Club. And I think that we've pretty much found the Steve Hate Club out there. One thing that they're doing right now, a lot of them noticed that I was on their tail a few days ago, so they started putting out videos about normal topics when they haven't done that in months. They were doing hate shit towards Steve for months, and then as soon as I'm like, having a little bit of heads butt with these guys, now they're doing regular topics in the evening that don't have anything to do with Steve. Really? I wonder what made you do that all of a sudden. Anyway, I'm doing a video on it, so I'll explain it. I guess somebody is bringing up flawed definition. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. This guy 100% wanted to cast that net on... I'd like to know who wasn't a you-know-what. Sorry, YouTube censorship. You get me? What'd you call it? AR? Or RA? That's what we'll say. RA. That's perfect, man. I'm going to start saying RA for it. His definition of RA cast a net. I'd like to find out who wasn't caught in his net of what RA was. It was too crazy. What the actual funk? How you doing, buddy? Skeptic said to the drunk monk. We got to get him up here. When you come, team, we need to bring him because he's funny, dude. Of course, Reds too, but definitely get Jut in here too. Yeah, man. Yeah, just jump in my Discord because I figured something out and I'm going to have to show you guys how to do it. So you know how we always use Skype so that we can share our audio? It turns out, let me show you this. A lot of us use this program, Voiceometer, Banana. Well, it turns out if you set this as your Discord output, all you got to do is press these buttons and it'll send your audio in Discord to everybody listening. Everybody in the room with you will hear what you're listening to. So we don't have to use Skype anymore to do group chats where we all can listen to videos and watch videos together. We can do it in Discord where they actually have a good signal where it won't cut out all the time. For those of you that don't know, Skype cuts out every 5 seconds when you're trying to talk to somebody. At least it does for me. Okay, my chat skipped. Let me try to get back to where it was. Here we go. Hit me up on Skype if you want. We'll do Reds, man. I'll hit you tomorrow. I'll find out when you're free. We got to chill. Rodin says it's HARP, chemtrails, and UFOs that are causing climate change. Emoji with tongue sticking out. I now believe you, and now I'm going to forever believe what you said there. Forever. No data will change my mind. Roundies can't internet. I love the Roundies thing. Roundies can't internet. Are you talking about Globers, buddy? You can still stay and hang out. I like having flat earthers in my chat. Keeps us on our toes when we've got flat earthers in our chat. I'm just saying. Yeah, email me. I'm sorry to make you email me, but I got so many trolls after me right now. Email me and I'll get you the link. I promise. But you have to email me, UNIRocktv@gmail.com. Yeah. Sorry. Matt Bond, what evidence does Uni have to back up that claim? You have to tell me what claim you're talking about. We've talked about several things. There is lab-grown red meat in the works. I don't want lab-grown red meat. I want a cow that eats grass, and then I want to eat steak and drink milk and cheese. Lots of cheese. I want to take the steak, put cheese on it, pour milk on it, put a potato on it, and eat it. Milk in the form of sour cream. All right. Sorry. I'm getting through the chat. I promise. I'm just trying not to miss anything. All right. Nuclear Dubs. Hey, buddy. Man, it's been a while since I've seen you. I know you've been here, but I haven't talked to you in a while. There's over 100 times the amount of water vapor in the Earth's atmosphere than CO2, and water vapor is twice as good at trapping heat than CO2 is. Email me some data, buddy. Hook me up. I know you got a lot on that side of it, and I'd love to have it. Hey, Chesh. Good to see you. Good to see you. Wait, Chesh, can you tell me something? I saw you and Steve's stream the other morning. Remember? It might have been yesterday. And you were talking about something White Knight. Did one of them call me a White Knight? I didn't know if they did or not. I don't care. I know they called somebody else a White Knight, but I wanted to know if they called me a White Knight. So just let me know. Sean Hufford. Hey, Sean, jump in Discord tomorrow too. And don't worry, Sean, that video is done. I just have to put it out. So we're good to go. I am correcting something. I had to have Sean literally grab me by the neck and shake me and say, UNIRock, stop putting it off. And I'm glad he did, and I apologize to Sean. I told Sean a month ago I'd do something, and I forgot. And Sean's cool enough to actually track me down, shake me a little bit, and say, get it done. So I appreciate that from Sean. I don't hate that. Wait, is that him? Is that Gripey? UNIRock is the dumbest MF on the internet. Hey, did you get my tweet, Gripey? I tweeted you back. I said, yo, mama. I just want to make sure you got my reply. Did you get it? I don't want you to miss it. Hold on. I think I got it right here. Yeah, hold on. Agrippa. Oh, damn it. Every time. Hold on, Agrippa. I just want to make sure you got my reply. Oh, here it is. Here you go, Agrippa. There you go. Did you get my... I want to make sure you see it, so let me put it up on the screen for you. I'm not telling any of you to go to @UNIRockTV on Twitter and take this that I retweeted and retweet this for me. I'm not telling you to do that. Anyone that's watching, I do not condone that kind of behavior. I'm just making sure you know. I don't condone that. I fully support it. I don't condone it. I fully support it. Thank you, Reds, for getting Gripey. He gripes so much he had to name himself Gripey. Yeah, it's crazy. Reds doesn't use Discord. Hit him up on Skype. Will do, Sean. 100%. And I understand. Discord is a one of those weird beasts to try and wrestle. You get me? Just learning it is like learning a new language. I don't blame you. You know what I wish? I wish Skype would get their connection issue fixed, because it's been doing it for like a month, but it never did it back in the day. Well, it's been doing it for a couple months, but it didn't do it back in the day. Rodin says, newsflash, emo, and my chat skip. Let me find it. Constantly, dude. Newsflash, Elmo accused of being a tickle apologist. Well, he does like being tickled. Elmo's not what you think he is. Team says, I think every person on the face of the planet will probably disagree with every other person on the planet at least about one thing, but that doesn't mean they don't support them. Very true, team. Yes. Well, that happens in communities that kick out people like this guy. Here we go. Let me help him. Here we go. There, yay! Wait, I can't block him. Then you guys won't be able to reply. Okay, I'm gonna block him tomorrow. I think it would upset him if I blocked him. It'll make him cry more. So you know. What evidence do you have that animal agriculture doesn't affect climate change? I have evidence in a report that said that only 5% of... Let's see here. I'll find it and I'll tweet it out. It's in my Discord. It's from like 2 weeks ago, but I will find it for you, buddy. Look up how much CO2 goes into the atmosphere from respiration. Okay, will do, Joey. And as we melt the ice caps and reflect less sunlight back into space, that pushes the amount of water vapor in the air. Therefore, more CO2 equals more H2O vapor and twice as much global warming. You know, and I bet it does. One thing, though, remember back, like, wasn't it in the 80s where, like, a huge portion of the polar ice caps froze? Like, an enormous amount extra, or was it in the 70s? I don't know. I'll have to find it. But it's really crazy. I know that we are going to have to handle pollution at some point, you know. If you think, you know what I used to do, right? Okay, some of you are as old as me. I'm not old by any means. But do you remember what it was like driving down the street? So let's say mid-sized town, and you're driving down the street, and at night in the early 90s, late 80s, there wouldn't be anyone else on the road. You know, you'd rarely see another car. And I'd say by the mid-2000s, it was to the point where you'd always see cars day or night, every day of the week, pretty much. I remember making a comment in the late 2000s where I said, oh my God, it's Christmas and there's like no one on the road, and it was late at night and it had snowed, and I thought it was really strange. And then I remembered how back in the day, it used to be like that all the time. You know, only at certain times of the day would you even have any traffic, let alone, you know, I'm not saying any at all, of course, but now we just have cars everywhere all the time, and they're all over the globe, so there has to be an impact. And, you know, the question would be how much of it is permanent, right? It's just cool that we can all talk about it, because there's a lot of people out there, for some reason, they employ kids to spread the message. You don't need kids to talk about climate change. You need scientists. You need people that know what they're doing. You're only going to... I'm not saying this because it's my opinion. I'm trying to say in the long run, you're only going to push people away from taking the topic seriously if you employ like a 15-year-old kid, or... I think that kid's really 18, but she looks like she's 13 or whatever. But if you get a kid to do it, you're definitely going to have people just looking the other way. It's not that kids shouldn't speak out. They shouldn't be nominated for peace prizes just for speaking to people about climate change. It's literally nuts. Brandon. Oh, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Sean says, shake. No, it was a full-on slap and kick in the shins. No, well, okay. Just avoid the shins next time, Sean. I have really bad shins. I had shin splints in the military. So freaking bad, dude. And they never healed. I don't know if they do heal. Do shin splints ever heal? Because I'll tell you right now, when me and Rachel are in bed, if like she puts her leg on my shin, you know how, you know, sometimes your girl lay her legs over your shin or whatever, over your legs, I will freaking scream. I'll be like, ow! And it's been like that since I got out of the military. I'm not kidding. They don't heal. I just ignore it. I just push through it, but they don't heal. Where do you live? I grew up outside NYC. Cars have always been on the road from the 60s when I was a kid. I live in Ohio, so that's probably where the difference is. Everyone has a narrative for the most part. Team Skeptic, this is the biggest reason why we all need to have open minds and do our own research, even if the topics are complicated. Ryan, I'm with you, man. And I like that you're still here and you're talking to us, and that's good, because I tried to ban you earlier, and it's really cool that you're still here. Roundy's can't internet. I am Roundy. It's a joke about Team Red, Sean, and others who can't seem to get their streams working. Oh, okay. Well, good to have you, my friend. No problem. I didn't mean to assume you were a flat earther. I just see so many of them with names like that. I assumed it, but thank you for clarifying, dude. The production of meat in some countries and the stripping of peat, in some countries, stripping of peat-laden land hugely contributes to adding CO2. Google it. Will do, Merc. Will do. Aren't you in my Discord, Merc? Because you need to be if you're not, buddy. Team says, Ryan, I 100% agree. The only thing to say people don't start with a conclusion, learn the science, and understand how complicated it is. Nobody can fully explain the climate change process easily. Oh, for sure. It's got to be one. I mean, shoot, if we can't predict weather, not 100%, but at least, you know, better than we can now, then, and I know we can do it pretty good, but if we can't do it better than we can, how would we ever be able to understand long-term effect of certain gases? You know, it's one of those things. Have you ever heard of this argument? Okay, let me give some food for thought, and then I'll go back to the chat. So give me a second, y'all, because we got some really good minds, and I'm not just talking about the creators. We got some great minds in my chat, and I want to hit you with the thought process. Okay, first off, I haven't said this in 2 days. If you want to donate on PayPal. It would really help me out this time of the month. No pressure. We'll be streaming, creating content nonstop regardless. www.paypal.me/UNIRock. Okay, now, have you ever heard this thought? Because of the time that we are in right now, does it ever make you doubt whether we are in and listen to my definition of this next word before you assume what I'm saying. Simulation. Now, hold on. Let me say it again. And let me explain, and then hook me up with what you think. And I'll read through it, and then we'll go to D-Live, because it's getting late. I'm sorry I started late. We will start early tomorrow. I'm sorry. Because of the time in which we live, do you ever think that we may be living in some kind of simulation? Now, let me explain simulation first. It could mean whether you are an atheist and it's like one of those many universes out there, and, you know, we're here for some strange reason there, or whether it is you believe in God and God created the simulation of the earth, or whether you believe in flying spaghetti monster. The flying spaghetti monster could have created the simulation, or whether you could say it's possible we are in a computer program. We plugged ourselves in, and we just, you know, you ever heard the argument that you could be given all your memories this morning and literally have it all be created this morning, and you wouldn't know the difference between whether or not you lived your whole life or whether you're in a simulation? You got me. Okay. Now, simulation could mean anything that fits the bill. Do you think that because of the time we are in, meaning we are in the time where technology has advanced from the time where I was born with the Commodore 64, the Apple IIc, and the Nintendo Entertainment System, and those types of things happening when I was very young, moving up to now where I have 16 logical cores in my PC, 2 graphics cards that are very fast, and 30 or 64, I think I got 32 or 64, I don't know, gigs of memory, where we used to have an internet connection where 1K a second was fast. Now we have, you know, I just stream. My stream alone is 6 megs a second, right? And not only technology in terms of computers and how fast they advance, but also, you know, it's one of those time periods where if you were going to program a simulation, or if you were going to, or if God was, or if the spaghetti monster was, or whoever, this would be the key time period to put you in. Because after technology makes its mark, everything's set in stone once it starts building up when it comes to society. And living before it, without technology, all you're going to do is worry about, you know, survival, taking a shower, drawing a bath, growing your food, washing your clothes is going to take all day for you to do basic things. So, one last time now that I fully explained, and then I'll go to the chat. It's not whether you believe it. The question is, do you ever think that it could be possible in some thought experiment or whatever that due to the time we are living in, we could be living in some kind, very broad term, simulation? Tell me what you think in the chat. I'll read it. Then we're heading to D-Live. All right. Now, I have to tell you the truth about where I heard that question. I think I heard it on Joe Rogan. But it's a good question, so I'm asking you. All right, so I'm at the point where Roundy's Can't Internet donated $5. I'm going to scan down, but I'm going to look for things that are relevant to the question I just asked, and I might read some other stuff. But Let's head down. Here we go. Wait, what? My stream works? Haha, says Team Skeptic. Lol team, they all work till the ending, says Sean. Jut says, I emailed you, bro. I assumed it was all lowercase. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter in an email. I'll get back to you in the morning, though, man. It's late tonight, so I'll hit you in the morning. Joey D, look at the last Thunder. You mean Thunderfoot, right? Is it just Thunderfoot, the name of the channel? Because I'll pull it up really quick. The last Thunderfoot video. Is it a squirrel?
South Korean
Is it a freaking squirrel? What the hell? Negative busted? Oh, I see what you're saying. See, it has CO2 there? Yeah, I'll take a look at it after the stream, dude. Definitely. The Age of Aquarius, says Merc. Team is overworked and underpaid. We adapt via natural selection or evolution. I do believe that. Yes, I believe in evolution. I do. It's a 50-50 bet that we're in a simulation, says Craig Spry. Okay, I'm with you. I can see why you'd say that. All right. I did see that from you earlier. Aredo is your mouse. I don't know what that means. Oh, Aredo is your mouse is somebody in the chat. Oh, that makes sense now. Team says that's a really bad argument. NS takes several thousand years at the minimum. Global warming is a relatively fast process that exceeds the rate in which NS should be able to keep up. I'm a Cookie Monster apologist, says Roundy's Can't Internet. Well, I can't blame you for that, buddy. He just wants the cookies. I can't do a Cookie Monster. I'm sorry. Commodore 64/128 still works at my house, Uni. My Commodore emulator still works, but I'm really bad at it. I mess it up sometimes. Bill says all Earth scientists are seeing the effect of CC. If you study ants or trees or birds or weather or oceans, any part of the Earth, they all see the effects. There's massive data. Definitely hook me up with some links and some sources because I want to do a video on it, and I'll take it from sources, not sourced articles, but the sourced data. Team says you youngsters don't remember the days of smoke signal internet. Yes, I had a 14.4K baud modem. Dude, I remember when modems put out 3K, and I was playing Ultima Online on it and trying to play like Diablo and stuff like that. Then we had 10K connection with our phone. Then we had 100, and I don't know if that was the phone or not. And then we moved up to modems with Ethernet, and I was the happiest dude in the world. No joke. Loved all that. I loved the early internet. I still do. I don't like our internet now that it's a censored mess. There is no good reason why our internet should be censored in any way. It should be a Wild West. It should stay that way for at least a few hundred years. We literally only had it for 20 at the most before they locked the damn thing down, and I hate it. I always assumed the creators of the simulation had a devastating event that occurred, and the purpose is to try and determine what happened to see if they can find a way to change it, said Ryan. I think the Earth has had a lot happen, says Wade. I'm with you, buddy. Joey says, yes, he gives a good explanation of the math. All right, we'll do. Rodent, there's no way to disprove simulation, so I just act as if there isn't one, although my first computer was a Commodore 64. I don't know. I always had a Apple IIc. Now, I don't know. What came first, the Apple IIc or the Commodore came before the Apple? Yes, the Commodore came before the Apple, so I did have a Commodore first. I was so young then, dude. I was young, but I loved those video games on the Apple and the Commodore. I love them. They are good, dude. You had to make good games back then. I won't go into a gaming rant, but they definitely made great games back then. Oh, my God. I used to play the hell out of the Crown game. Defender of the Crown. My goodness. Zork. Oh, yeah. I could never figure it out, but I played the hell out of it. Then there was this one adventure game. It was one of the first ones on a Commodore 64 where it was kind of like Zork and kind of like other adventure games, but you type north, but it had pictures, and it was so good, dude. Oh, my God, I got to find it and play it again. One time, the Earth was all tropical at the same time, too, says Wade. I didn't know that. Joey, I remember the early 80s when you would buy Men's of Connection. It was super expensive, and I'm 36-year-old. I remember when it took 30 minutes to load a good porn pic. Definitely. What is the best way to send you sources? I'd gladly provide you with some. UNIRockTV@gmail.com, or you could join my Discord server, and I have lots of rooms for submissions. We've got submissions for every topic we cover. We've got a current live stream room, so if you want to turn in a topic for the next live stream, you've got that room there. You can drop whatever you want in. We've got it all set up so that you guys affect the content that we do in the live shows and also in the videos. We try to let you guys have as much control. If you donate to me, whether it's PayPal, Patreon, or you're a member of my channel and you want a video done on a topic, I can't promise you I will, but I can say that there's a good percentage if you turn in the topic, I will do it. The problem is right now it's hard for me to get to my email every day. Definitely having a hard time checking Twitter every day. And Discord is the easiest way to get a hold of me. And if you join my Discord, you'll know when every stream starts, when every stream's scheduled. You'll be able to join the chat room and talk to me if you want sometime for a few minutes. So if you want to join my Discord, hook me up. But you got to tell me what your name is on YouTube. And, when you do join the Discord, I'm probably going to try to, verify just by talking to you for a second. Say, hey, is this you? We try to keep the Discord orderly. We definitely know everyone in there, and it's just a really cool community. Everyone's really awesome. So people are allowed to flip out and have problems and fight. We just don't let trolls in. So, hey, Terry, good to see you. Played the TSR Gold Box series on the Commodore 64, my first intro to D&D. D&D is excellent, and I don't just mean D&D. I mean any game where you take a bunch of dice, somebody sits down and writes a rule system, whether it's in a book, whether you write it yourself, and then everybody uses their imagination, and they use their they use thinking, they use the rule set and the dice to try to do things and all that. Any game like that makes you smarter by playing it. Don't even act like it doesn't. It definitely makes you more creative, that's for sure, right? I've never seen the TSR Gold Box series though. TSR Gold Box. I know what a gold box is, but I don't know what TSR. Oh, classic D&D from early on. I'm with you. I am with you, my friend. Man, those old those Super Nintendo RPGs, you ever play those? Because they're not so technologically lacking that they suck to play, but they are not so technologically advanced that they enter the rinse and repeat genre, and they are they are literally a movie, a story, a book that's animated that you partake in the palm of your hands. They are so good. Secret of Mana is like an entry level. Final Fantasy series, once you're in. Seeking Ditsu 3, once you get in there and find a good translation of it, there's a really good one out there. OMGZ, so good. So good. Team said, you should sub to Thunderbolt. He's one of my favorite creators. Yeah, bro, will. Definitely. I didn't even realize I wasn't subbed, but I got it. One of my favorite creators and debunkers. He focuses mostly on thermodynamics and free energy debunks. They are hilarious and very informative. I'm subbed, bro. I got it. I love new YouTube channels. Starfleet Battles was a great game. You ever play a game where you're flying through space and it's like a simulation of if you were Star Wars, so if you were a fighter, if you were a bounty hunter, if you were a drug smuggler, if you were whatever, like a pilot that was employed by the government, I need to find that game, and I have no clue which one it is. The original Pool of Radiance series was from TSR. TSR, why is it not coming to me? I know what it stands for. TSR, I know exactly. I played them. Yeah, you were little squares. You moved by squares in the battles, and then you walked through the land before you got in a battle. Yeah, those were great. I played them when I was a kid, and they give you that feeling, right? You ever play? You know when you got a good retro game because you don't just play, or book or movie or series, because you don't just play it. When you go to it, it has its own feeling. It has its own aura or thing to it. That is what makes a retro game. Example, Mario. Yeah, when you played a Nintendo game back in the day, Ninja Gaiden. When you were playing Ninja Gaiden, it was an adventure. Some people are like, yeah, but it's just little tiny bits on the screen. It barely looks like a ninja. Yeah, but it's an adventure. You kind of imagine being this guy. The cutscenes, everything about it. Oh my God, the music is so good in Ninja Gaiden. Have you ever seen this? Type in Ninja Gaiden guitar. There is an entire YouTube sub-series to people playing guitar covers of Ninja Gaiden music only. It spawned its own YouTube series of videos, like entire community. And it is good. Let me find one. Hold up. I don't want to get a copyright hit, but I want to play one. I'm going to get a copyright hit, aren't I? Probably. Here we go. Just take a 10-second listen. They became Wizards of the Coast? Okay, good. I know Wizards of the Coast. Yes, definitely. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm goofy. You know I'm goofy. You knew it when you signed up for this channel. Deal with it. I'm silly as hell. Deal with it. Duck hunt, yes. Plaque attack, yes. It's that, like, you shoot it, you miss, little dog pops up. That whole thing is just a feeling. It's not even a game, bro. It's a feeling, you know? It's an aura. Here's some science for you. As we add gases to the atmosphere, we extend the height of the atmosphere. That adds weight to the atmosphere and therefore increases the pressure at the surface. Very good point. I can completely understand how that would happen, definitely. Renee said, if you recommend the channel, I'll check it out. You're how I found Uni, after all, to Team Skeptic. Well, hey, I'm glad you found me, man, because I love you being here. Appreciate it. Thanks, team. Thanks, team, bro. I hope I got you a few, too. I tried. I will do the robot again if you're not careful. I'm just telling you right now. I'll do the robot again if you're not careful. So you better be watching out. Technical Studies Rules. TSR was formed in 1973 as a partnership between Gary Gygax and Don Kay. I would love to do a video on that. I wish I had time. I went into Discord today, and I thought I'd take 2 hours to make a video. 6-7 hours later, I finished it. It's uploaded. It will release on the channel at 8 a.m. Please watch it, like it, leave a bunch of comments, spam those comments, share it somewhere. Please hook me up. Spent the entire day doing it. TSR wasn't a video. Oh, yeah, I know. TSR made the books for I know I found TSR at the end of 3rd edition, I think. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, into 4th edition. 4th edition had the black cover books, right? And then they had the add-ons were like brown, but they were more like not hard covered, but more thin covered, if you get my drift right. Yes. Yes. Didn't TSR buy out Wizards of the Coast, though? That's what someone said earlier? Yes. Okay. Wizards of the Coast made... Oh, I'm getting it all wrong. What's the company that made Magic the Gathering? Because I know that the company that made D&D eventually bought the company that made Magic, right? Or was it the other way around? Now I'm confused. I need to correct myself now. All right. I am baffled why any idiot would think the Earth is flat. Talking about the shape of our planet in the 21st century with all our current technology is flunking crazy. You know, it is about fitting in. It's about being a member of a community and having a community that provides the mystery, the intrigue, the thing that makes them special. That's the problem. You need to be in a community where people give a fuck that you're there. And you just found one. It's called the Rocka Squad. Only condition, you can't be a griper. What's his name? A gripe-a-lot? A griper? You can't be a dragnut. You can't be a Fiona. Why? They are the exiles of every community. They have their own community where they just sit around and complain about Steve McRae. Join this community. Fist bump the subscribe button. Do me a solid, people. If you like my live streams, this was not a show. This is a random live stream. If you like these live streams, though, hit the bell icon again and ring them. I've noticed that most of the channels that I ring the bell on were undone when this happened. YouTube redid the front page. See how big that shit is? That's not normal. I pull this shit up every day in my live shows. And now look, they've redone the front page. And I'm telling you, some channels, some subscribers lost the bell. So you need to re-ring the bell on all the channels that do live shows and uploads daily that you like to watch, or you're going to miss them. And now and I'll show you why, when you ring the bell now, it finally gives you this. And look at this. I had the bell rung for FTFE, and you know I did, because every time FTFE goes live with Team, I'd always bug them. When they updated the front page, I'm telling you, it knocked the bell loose. So when you click it, you can personalize none or all. I always hit that all button. Got me? Especially for those of us that go live every day, those of us that stand up for logic but still listen to people and do our best to try to meet in the middle with others and form a greater community of channels that are attempting to take everything to the next level and provide quality content for you that's not based on drag nuts propaganda or Fiona's lies and vindictiveness. You get me? Anyway, write the hand. Thank you for writing this stupid tweet to me. My response is, yo mama, Gotti at UNIRockTv. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do that. I retweeted that on at UNIRockTV on Twitter. Please help me out by going to my Twitter and retweeting it and giving it a heart yourself. It would make me happy. You don't have to, though. All right, I'm going to DLive. It is dlive.tv/UNIRockTV. The link is about to drop in the chat. If you like my show, it's that time of the month where it would be so nice if you could hook me up on PayPal, but you don't have to. We'll be live tomorrow. New video releasing at 8 a.m. that details my first video in the series to understand this strange thing that's happened around this non-sec breakup and how it has exposed a community. It lifted the rock of this community that has been there doing this psycho stalking of Steve McRae for all these years, and we're going to fully expose them so that we know who they are and we can ignore them from now on. That's the summation of tonight's stream. Thank you to Red's Rhetoric, Team Skeptic, Sean Hufford, all the other awesome creators in the chat, and all my peeps that came to hang out. The Drunk Monk, all you guys. I'll shout you out at the end. We're heading to DLive. Appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to go play a video, watch it. I think it's not too... Oh, my God, it's late. I'm going to not be doing it. I'm probably only streaming for like an hour on DLive. But we got to get going. Thanks, you guys. See you tomorrow. Love you. Appreciate you. UNIRock out. Agrippa, eat it, bitch. Peace. Team Skeptic, Wade, Michelle, Rodent, Joey, Nuclear Dubs, Lisa. Good to see you, Lisa. Glad you came. You especially, Nuke. I'm glad you're here, man. Ryan, thanks for hanging, dude. Pipeline Audio. Merc, good to see you, buddy. Been a minute. Good to see you. Billy, thanks. Appreciate you. Amorous Moon, appreciate you being here. Thank you. Roundies, Can't Internet. Love the name. Appreciate it. Department of Death, thank you. Phil, thank you. Sean, see you guys tomorrow. Sean Hufford and Sean Carroll, thanks you guys. See you tomorrow. I'll be on dlive.tv /UNIRockTV.